Hi guys, I'm just making some small adjustments, but welcome to my meal prep and chill. I do have a live chat going on, so whenever I ask something, hi guys, I'm just making some small adjustments, but welcome to my meal prep and chill. I do have a live chat going on, so whenever I ask something, hi guys, I'm just making some small adjustments, but welcome to my meal prep and chill. I do have a live chat going on, so whenever I ask something, hi guys, I'm just making some small adjustments, but welcome to my meal prep and chill. I do have a live chat going on, so whenever I ask something, hi guys, I'm just making some small adjustments, but welcome to my meal prep and chill. I do have a live chat going on, so whenever I ask something, hi guys, I'm just making some small adjustments, but welcome to my meal prep and chill. I do have a live chat going on, so whenever I ask something, hi guys, I'm just making some small adjustments, but welcome to my meal prep and chill. I do have a live chat going on, so whenever I ask something, hi guys, I'm just making some small adjustments, but welcome. Alright, that should be better. Okay, just to give y'all guys a little bit of information about myself as far as when it comes to meal planning. I am a nutritionist, so I have been meal planning for a very long time. I started off with doing low calorie meals, and now I'm doing high calorie, high protein meals. So today our main focus is going to be on weight loss, weight loss meals, and things that's gonna help you for and muscle building. So this is, like I said, guys, this is my first live. So those who did register and sign up, if you're just not tuning into my live, if you did do those two things that I asked you to do, after the end of this live, you will be receiving an email from me with both the meal plan, and you also will get a consultation with me so I can help you plan your meals out for the week, as well as you getting some meals from me that works best for you. So where I am going to, so today our plan is to basically go through the meal prep basics, um just to get a little understanding about what it is and why you should do it, as well as its benefits. Then we're gonna get into a little bit of meal planning, how you can plan your meals. If you don't know any meals that you want to do, I will show you where you can go to get recipes, and also a website that you can utilize to basically plan your meals for you based off of how many meals you want to eat a week and your calorie intake. Then from there, we're going to get a little bit into more of the meal plan cooking, how you should be cooking your meals. There's different types of styles that you can do that works best for your lifestyle and your schedule. Um, from there, we're going to get into portion sizes for both weight loss and muscle building. And then at the end, I'm going to actually try to share try to see about sharing my screen so I can go over the meal plan guide with you for the last 10 to 15 minutes that we have left. So that is pretty much what the plan is for my meal prep and chill. So, guys, please stay tuned because you're going to learn a whole lot of good stuff. And at the end of it, you're going to end up with a few good things that help you along on your journey. That way you can see how hard it is or how easy it may be for you to meal prep. But my goal is to make it easier. So I do have a template on the meal plan guide that you can use to actually plan out your meals. and that sort of thing. So you can use that to go shopping and etc. So now it is 1 o'clock. Without further ado, I'm just gonna reintroduce myself again. I am Coach Jasmine Shabazz. I am a trainer here in Buffalo, New York. I'm at the New Body Gym on South Park. In addition to that, I do some virtual training, and I'm an online content creator. The purpose of today is just to make you guys to make your life easier and then add value. I wanted to be able to do some things where I can give back to you guys. So we're just gonna jump in and get started. Also, if you guys have any questions that are meal prep related, specific to what you're doing right now, please hold them off to the end, and I will give you some time to ask those questions, and I will answer them here live. If you don't feel comfortable with dropping your questions here in the chat, you can also DM me on, if you follow me on Facebook, JashShabazz, JASSHABAZZ. Instagram, train_with_Shabazz. And then, of course, email, JASZSHABAZZ25@gmail.com. So that's a little tidbit for you guys. So without further ado, I am going to get started with the meal plan basics. So basically, the point of meal prepping, as you can see, that there's a lot of big individuals, bodybuilders, fitness influencers, coaches, trainers, virtual trainers, content creators. They all do meal prep. And what meal prepping is basically you preparing your meals in advance for the remainder of the week or for whatever days that you feel like you can eat that meal for. Sorry, I am using my guide as the itinerary for today. So I am jumping through this and scrolling through and letting you guys know. Okay. Yes. Okay. So that's pretty much what meal prepping is. The popular ways of meal prepping is, for one, is batch cooking. And that's pretty much where you're cooking large portions of food, and then you're dividing it up into portions for the week. Then you have make ahead meals, where you prepare them in advance and you store them in the refrigerator, or you store them in the freezer for later use. So more so like frozen dinners. Like if you wanted to, let's say you wanted to cook your food for half of the week, but you're like, okay, I'm not sure it's going to make it the whole week. What you can do is cook the food, put it in the containers. There are a lot of containers that they have out here that are freezer safe. So you can portion it up, put it in the freezer, and then just leave it in there for whenever you feel like it, whether it's the end of the week or the following week. Next, we have ingredient prep. And that's pretty much where you're just chopping up, preparing your ingredients in advance. So let's just say you're running out of time. You want to cook for Saturday. You can get your vegetables, your proteins, chop them all up, marinate your proteins, put it in the refrigerator. And then when Saturday comes, you can just take it out. Everything's already cooked up. Just mix it together and then cook it. So that would actually cut your time down by like half the time if you are choosing to prepare your ingredients in advance. Then we have pre-cooked ingredients. So that's pretty much when you're just cooking everything in advance and then you're just storing it for later. So let's say you want to make a chicken Caesar wrap for a week. On a weekend, you'll go and you'll cook the chicken, whatever other toppings that you feel like you want to use. and then you'll just have them, then you'll just set them aside. You can either put them in the freezer or you can put them in the refrigerator. Then when, let's say, Monday comes, you can take that out, then you prepare your wrap. Or vice versa. If you're doing pasta, or it's mainly with food ingredients that are going to take you longer to cook. So if you're going to do something where you're prepping large portions of meals, pre-cooking your ingredients, prepping your ingredients, those are going to be big helpful things that you're going to want to utilize to cut down on that time. Um, for me, personally, I do batch cooking. So on the weekend, Saturday, I will do my grocery shopping and I'll cook everything on Sunday. And that's from me doing breakfast to lunch to dinner. So I'll do overnight oats, maple brown sugar overnight oats for breakfast. I'll make that and put it in the refrigerator because that has to have at least 8 hours overnight. Then I'll make, let's say, chicken Alfredo. I'll have that for lunch, and then a teriyaki chicken stir fry for dinner. And I'll cook all of those up. I'll get my individual to-go containers, and then I'll plate all those foods in those containers. So those are a couple of, so that's kind of like what I do and what works best for me. Some days I don't like to cook. I cook twice, on Sunday and then again on Wednesday. So on the days I don't like to cook, it's mighty convenient for me to be able to go in my refrigerator, grab me a meal, and then eat it. Ways I kind of like, things I kind of do to avoid boredom with my food is marinades. I'll get different marinades and I'll switch up the flavor so I'm not feeling like I'm eating the same thing every day. Um, you can also, like I said, cook multiple days during the week. If you're one of those people that really don't want to eat the same food every day or can't eat it for no more than 2 to 3 days, then I would recommend that you add another day in there for you to prepare your food and cook it. So that's what you want to do. Pro tip is to choose a meal prepping style that works best for you, your lifestyle, and your schedule. A lot of times people, I hear that, they don't have a lot of time to make food, so that is going to be a big thing that you're going to want to take into account, is the time that you have to be able to prepare your meals for the week. So if anybody has any struggles, please just drop them in the chat so I can see them. I'm still trying to work on this a little bit, chat filter. Oh, that's good. Okay. Yeah, so now I'm be able to see the chat when you guys decide to chime in, or if you want to engage with me and just pick up a little something. So now I'm going to get into a little bit about the benefits of meal prep. So there are many benefits to meal prep. It is time consuming. I mean, not time consuming. It saves you time. In most cases, depending on where you shop, money. Makes portion control a lot easier, especially if you are trying to lose weight. Portion control management is going to be a big thing for you because you're only allotted so many calories to be able to be in a deficit. Simplifies it simplifies tracking, but overall, it makes your life a whole lot easier. Like if you could just go through, let's just say you cooking on the weekends, then you can just go through the week without having to cook. That's like a blessing. That saves you time right there. Like those 2 hours a night that you are using for cooking, now you have that to use for something else. So those are the benefits to meal prep cooking. Those are kind of like the basic things that you really need to know as far as background information on meal prep and stuff like that. So now we're going to get in a little bit of the meal prepping process. And the first thing we're going to talk about is planning out the meals. Um, it's something that you can do manually, or you can use a meal prep, or you can use a meal prepping service. I know there are local meal prep places that offer meal prepped food. Off the top of my head, I am drawing a blank. But if you do cook, or if you are familiar with home cooking but you don't meal prep, what I would suggest is taking the meals that you do prep and then adjusting them for your daily calorie intake. You don't have to start off from scratch and cooking all new food if you know how to cook. Just take some time, sit down. What you're gonna do is set up a meal planner. You can do this on Google Sheets, Excel, or you can write it out by hand. A lot of times I tend to write it out by hand. It's also in the meal prep guide. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna set it up according to the days of the week, and then you're gonna have breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. So that's pretty much how you're going to structure it. And then for breakfast, you're going to put everything that you're going to eat for breakfast. Same thing for lunch. Same thing for dinner. Now, you don't have to be exact on the measurements in this step here. You just want to know what it is that you're making. And since this is a beginner webinar, and I know a lot of people may not know how to cook or know what to make, there are two things you can do. You can Google and try to find easy recipes of food that you like, of your favorite foods, and then start from there. Or you can utilize this site called This Is dang, I'm really drawing a blank on this. The site is called Eat This Much. So you can go on to the site Eat This Much, and you're going to type in how many meals you want to have for a week, your daily calorie intake, any restrictions that you may have, and then you're going to hit go. And it's going to show you a whole bunch of recipes that you can do for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and as well as snacks. So that can be a helpful thing for you. There are also no-bake recipes that you can use, but you want to stick to food recipes with simple ingredients, not more than like 4 or 5. Like, you want to keep the ingredients pretty simple, because the more ingredients you have, the more you're going to be spending in the store. So if you guys do use my meal planner and the meal prep guide, the areas are highlighted for you to be able to change and type in what you want to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then you're going to, after you finish filling that in, you're just going to print it out and use that to start your grocery shopping list. So once you have your food planned out for the week, you're going to now start your grocery shopping list. And you could either, same thing, do it by hand. You can use Excel. All you need to do is take each recipe that you have, or each meal that you have, and write out all the ingredients you need to buy from the store. And you're going to do that for every meal that you have. If you don't have the particular snacks at the house, you're also going to write down Hi guys, I apologize. I will be back in a minute. Go. Go sit down. Have a seat. Sorry about that, guys. I am back. I'm just going to pick up where we left off at, and we were discussing grocery shopping. So when it comes to, okay, yeah, so you had your list. Yeah, so after you create your grocery shopping list, you are going to organize that in a way where you can do some fluid shopping. And what I mean by what I mean by that is, also, before I forget, while you're writing your shopping list, if you start to see like your list is getting pretty long, 9 times out of 10 you're going to be spending a lot more at the store. So that's why I say keep your recipes simple, keep the ingredients few, because after a while it does start to stack up. And I've often made that mistake of trying to make these grandiose meals or these gourmet meals where there's like 5 to 10 ingredients, and now I'm spending $60 to make one meal that's going to last for 2 or 3 days. So you can utilize, that's why I said marinades, seasonings, yeah, marinades and seasonings are going to be your best friend here, because that saves a lot of money for ingredients that you would have to have chopped up, that you already can get blended together in a marinade or a seasoning, and then all you got to do is add your little extra spin to it. So just be cognizant of that. But as you're grocery shopping, first off, let's talk about the places where you should be grocery shopping with if you're on a budget. So you kind of want to stay away from the supply chains. You kind of want to go more so local. I used to go to Camilla's. That was a really good one. There are local farms that have fresh produce, and often eggs, protein, that sort of thing. So you can actually check those out, and they may be and a lot of times they are of higher quality than you would get at a Tops or even a Wegmans. So that could be a good start. But if you don't have any of those places in your area and you have to go to like a Tops, a Wegmans, you could also go to Aldi's, Price Right. Those have good deals, but you just, when it comes to protein, you just want to be careful at Aldi's and Price Right, because the meat is more so closer towards the expiration date. So I don't know if anybody have noticed, but I do know if you're looking for meat within your certain amount of budget, you're gonna want to find ones that kind of are closer to the expiration date. The ones that are closer to the expiration dates are the ones that they have discounts on. You can also go to Sam's Club, BJ's, any of those types of membership stores, and you can get the staple items or even more expensive protein in bulk. And that would in the long run save you money, because you would end up spending way more than that at a at a regular store. Also, just a tip is just to eat before you go shopping, because that will save you on a lot of impromptu shopping. When I eat before I go to the store, I end up going in there and buying only the stuff that's on my list. So that is something to take into account. Yeah, so those are a few things that you can do to be able to stay within your budget. I do all these things and it's helped me out. I used to spend $200 a week, and then I was able to cut it down to 145 a week. and now I'm at 70 to 80 bucks a week on food. So, and those are the things that I do to be able to, stay within my budget, because food at this point in time, food does get pricey. Inflation, everything's high. So you're like, okay, I'd rather go and get fast food where I can get this biggie bag for $5 versus me going to the store and spending $100 on food. But when you create a plan and you follow that plan, and you stick only to that plan, I promise you, you will save a lot of money that way. Um, so yeah, you want to pick a day to go shopping. So I know it seems like quite a daunting process, but the more you plan stuff out, the better you're able to stick to it, and you're not flustered and frustrated because you seem to be spending way too much time doing these things. So what I would say is, if you got a calendar, take some time, sit down at your calendar, write down what day you're going to actually meal plan. So that means find your recipes, plan out everything, and create your grocery shopping list. Then you are going to you can either do it the same day, or get another day when you're actually going to do the grocery shopping and prep the food, if that's what you're going to do. If you're going to prep your food in advance before you start cooking. So if that's something that you're going to do, you need to pick a day for that. And then lastly, you're going to have a day for where you actually take the time out and cook all of your meals for the week or for those few days. So for the purpose of this meal plan and chill, I'm just going to be talking about batch cooking, because that is something that I currently do now and I'm very familiar with it, and I've been doing it for a very long time. And it's kind of what I became an expert in, so I can give you a lot of tips and tricks on that, on how you can stick to that as well. So since I don't see anybody left here on my live or chatting in this group, I'm just gonna keep talking. um if people do show up, then I will recap what I've already been through so far. Yes. So now we're here, we're talking a little bit about the batch cooking process and how that's going to help you meet your calorie goals and stick to your time. So before you can do any cooking, the first thing you want to do is make sure that you got everything that you need to store your food. So that's I'm talking about the storage containers. If you like the ones that have the three portion things, get you some of those, or get you a regular joint. You want to get you enough for your meals for the week. Okay, so you want to get those. You also want to get you some freezer bags, some storage bags. Marinade bags are optional, but I feel like they come in handy. And then anything else that you could use to store whatever meals that you plan on cooking. If you have a particular meal that you want to learn how to store, just type it in the chat and we could talk about it. And I'll address it here. So there is no specific order for you to cook your food or to prep it, store it, any of that. I like to start with breakfast just because for me that tends to be the easiest. All I'm doing is throwing ingredients in a container, stirring it up, and putting it in the refrigerator. So I kind of arrange on my meal prep day. I kind of arrange my meals according to the amount of time it's going to take me to make that meal. So if it takes me 10 minutes to make my breakfast, I'm going to do that first. And then I'm going to follow it up with, if dinner takes 30 minutes, and then lunch takes an hour, then I'll follow it up with dinner, lunch, and then if it's vice versa, I would do that as well. But keep in mind the time that you have devoted for your meals. On average, it takes me at least 3 hours to prep my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And that's having it cooked and plated in the storage containers, waiting for it to cool down and go in the refrigerator. Also, as you are cooking your food, you want to be plating it accordingly. Um, I have I have put a little bit of things in here, a little tidbits in here for you guys to follow along with as far as carbohydrates go, protein and fats, so you can be able to portion your food properly. Um, so we can actually start with that is a great segue into talking about portion sizes for when you're meal prepping your food. So first we're going to start with weight loss, and for that you kind of want to remember that the carbohydrates are going to be 30 to 40% of your caloric intake. So whatever amount your daily calories are, you want to multiply that by 30%, and 30 to 40%, and that should be how much you should have as far as carbs. So with your meals, you want to break that down. So if you can only have a certain amount of carbs, you want to make sure each meal has a substantial amount of macronutrients that you need as part of your diet. So if you go the first day and you're realizing that you're not hitting any of your macronutrient goals, then you can add more food to it, whether it's just, for starters, I would say just increase the portion sizes. If you're not hitting your macro goals, just increase the portion sizes a little bit. You want to stick more to dishes that are heavily fruits and vegetable based as the main ingredients, because that will help with that satiety. And then when you add the protein in there, you'll feel fuller longer without having to, and you're eating more. Fruits and vegetables, they make up a large portion of the plate. So if you add more fruits and vegetables, naturally, as you're eating that, you're going to cut back on the carbs and a little bit on the protein. So as far as this goes, like I said, carbs, you want to make sure that's 30 to 40% of your daily calories. So each meal, and that doesn't mean 30%, 40% of calories in each meal. That's for like the whole day. So you kind of want to take that, so that's why it's important that you're going to use a meal. You can use a nutrition app, because that way when you type in your caloric intake, or they give you a caloric intake, you can see how much carbs, proteins, and fats that you would need or can have a day. So then you be able to do that for each meal. Make sure that at the end of the day, all your meals add up to 30 to 40% of the carbohydrates that you need. Protein, 25, that's 25 to 30% of your daily calories. So you'll want to stick more so to the proteins that have less fats in it. So like the lean proteins, chicken breast, fish. So less salmon is good, but salmon is very fatty. So yeah, so if you're gonna eat fat, if you want to have fatty fish, just be careful with it. Um Like I said, lean proteins. Turkey. Turkey's always good. The legs, the thighs, the turkey breast. Um, Chicken thighs have more fat in it, so I wouldn't really recommend that for weight loss. Like I said, you want to stick more to the lean protein, so chicken breast, turkey, turkey legs, chicken tenders. If you want, fish is definitely great for you to have, but if you're going to tilapia, shrimp, salmon is more so, like I said, salmon is more so on the fatty side, so you just want to be careful with that if that's what you're into. Tofu's also good, even though I know that's not protein, and then you know legumes. So that's those are areas of where you want to focus more so of your proteins, the types of proteins you want to get. And then fats should be 25 to 30%, but I feel like it should be more, it should be a little less than that. And that's and that's your oils, your seeded oil, so like avocado oil, olive oil. You want to stay away from the unsaturated fats. This also can be nuts, seeds, etc. So fats you want to more so eat more sparingly and be very careful with it, because fats are very flavorful, and it's easy to let that take over and you overindulge in fats. That's not conducive for someone on a weight loss journey. So you want to focus. So for weight loss, you want to focus more so on foods that are rich in fiber, water dense veggies, and high protein snacks and lean proteins. So those are a few things for people that are trying to meal prep for weight loss. That's also available in my guide. So yes, if you have any questions about your macros, what you are currently consuming right now, just drop it in the chat and I will answer it here live. Okay, so next we're going to get into talking just a tad bit about muscle building. As far as portion size, as far as the macros that you should be preparing in your meals for that, because your goal here is to muscle build, you have to be able to prioritize protein. That is the main thing that you're going to need to support muscle growth and repair. So if that is something that you want to do, please prioritize protein. So your carbohydrates are up a bit. So you want to focus on 45 to 55% of your daily intake in carbohydrates. We cannot be scared of carbohydrates because it's the fuel, that's the main fuel our body needs to be able to grow and build muscle. I know people say bad carbs, good carbs. I'm telling you guys, there's no such thing. As long as you stay within your range of within your macro range, pretty much carbs is sky's the limit with carbs. As long as you don't go over, well, because you have to eat in a caloric surplus here, you're gonna want to go over, but not too far over. Proteins, 20 to 25% of your daily intake. That seems rather that seems yeah, 20 to 25% of your protein intake. So you want to get, like I said, you have to prioritize a lot of protein. And a way to do that is to add more protein, whether it's doubling up the protein servings in your meals, um, adding extra proteins on a side to what you already have. So the types of foods you kind of want to stick to here, you want to stick to proteins that are higher in fat. And you can still have lean proteins too. So still chicken tenderloins, chicken thighs, turkey breast, um, turkey thighs, salmon, tilapia, catfish. A lot of this stuff is the same as weight loss, but the serving sizes are way bigger, if that makes sense. And also red meats. For women, we can't have, our body is unable to break down red meat so like that. So at least um you want to limit the amount of red meats you have in a month. You don't need a steak every day. You do not need steaks multiple days. You don't need beef multiple days. Make it once every 2 weeks or something like that. But um yeah, it's just something, red meat is just something our bodies tend to break down a little bit slower, so you don't want to consume a lot of something your body can't break down. Huh. So here you kind of want to focus on adding more meals. You don't need 5 or 6 meals, but 3 or 4 meals, it will kind of be ideal on top of you adding in the snacks. But that's really dependent on your what your schedule allows. If your schedule allows you to be able to create that time where you can sit down and eat that much food, then have at it. If it doesn't, then you want to make sure that again, all your foods for that day add up to 45 to 55% carbs, 20 to 25% proteins, and then 20 to 30% fats. So like I said, so now lastly we're gonna get into a little bit talking a bit about nutrition tracking for meal prep and why I think it is easier to track because you've meal prepped your food. And I say that because you already know the measurements of everything that you have. So a lot of measurements are easily converted over into whatever um my fitness pal or any of the other nutrition tracking apps use. So I do recommend, for just personal recommendation, because I've used both, I recommend my fitness pal and then first form. I'm currently using first form and I'm working with a trainer or an accountability coach, so she kind of helps me stick to my plan that I make and make sure that I'm having the proper amount of macros met so that I can build muscle. So that's my thing, and that's kind of what I use. I've used both my Fitness Pal and First Form. My Fitness Pal is very good. It has, for those who don't really want the paid version, you can get the free one, and you're able to set up your calories, your macros, and they also have an area where you can even look at recipes. So, yeah, with that, as you're eating your food, you want to jot down pretty much what you're eating. So if you know you got like a cup of chicken and a half a cup of rice and then a half a cup and then 1 cup of vegetables, that's all you need to know. You don't have to be down to the grams, the weight of stuff. If you do have a scale, this is the time for you. This is the best time for you to be able to utilize that as you're meal prepping your food. That way you know how much is in each container. That's kind of really what the goal and the purpose of it is for you to know how much food you got and to manage the portions that you have to eat, because Rome wasn't built in a day. You're not going to 100% know how to meal prep right off the bat, but everything does take time. I just want you guys to know that, like, it's going to take time for you to be able to master it and get it right, but you have to be willing to take that time out to plan your meals out, go grocery shopping, prep the food, and then come back and do all, and then store it, and then as well as eat it. Because let's say you make the food and you don't eat it and you're still buying out. So you just got to pick whatever option is best for you. But as for in terms of meal prepping versus takeout goes, is a lot cheaper to just home cook all your meals. If you want to do the occasional eat out, that's also fine, but just make sure you're sticking to whatever your caloric range is. All right, so I did want to take a few minutes to go through my meal prep guide. Let's see if I can bring it up here. All right, I guess I can't screen share. So I'll just tell you guys what's in it and what you can expect out of this guide, and how it can be and how you can use it for your benefit. So we're gonna just, so now I have the meal plan guide open. It has learning objectives, so pretty much this guide is really gonna teach you. Oh my god. Sorry guys, stuff starts malfunctioning at the last minute, you know. So it's really going to teach you how to plan and prepare your meals weekly to stay consistent and avoid boredom. Learn budget-friendly grocery shopping strategies and practice proper food storage and easy tracking methods. So a lot of stuff that these objectives cover, I have touched on briefly, but in the guide, it goes into a little bit more of detail. I also put a lot of personal anecdotes in here just so you guys know that you are not alone, and it's okay to struggle. The more you do it, the better you're gonna get at it. So then you'll get into a little bit of the meal prep basics. I talked about the types and popular ways of meal prep, and you choosing a meal prepping style that can fit your schedule. It also outlines the benefits of meal prep so that you can get an understanding of why you should be meal prepping. And then we get into the meal prep process. So I outline in this guide the meal prep process from beginning to end. So you'll start off with the meal planning. I'll show you how to do that. I also put a sample template in here that you can fill in and adjust for you to be able to put in your own meals, and all you have to do is just print that section. Also put the website in here that you can go to get your meal plan. Yeah, so you can go on there to get your meal plan. If you don't want it off of here, like I said, if you attended this live and you answered the questionnaire and and you registered, then you will be receiving this guide, and you could just take that out and you can just copy and paste it in there, and it will take you to the website where you can actually go and meal prep your meals for a week, for a month, however long you feel like you want to do it. I also put tips in here to help you grocery shop and stay on a budget. I On this live I did talk about the places or stores you could shop at to get the food from, especially budget friendly food. So you might want to just come back to this live and look at it and see. And then we get into the actual meal prepping. Sorry guys. That's the only thing I hate about live is that when you're on here, you kind of like, you can't really mess up. And I'm trying so hard not to mess up, but sometimes it just happens. I'm still human. So I should give you the supply list of things that you need to help to be able to store your food for meal prepping day, or even within the cooking process. Um, After that, I outline the tips for weight loss as far as portion sizes go, um, for weight loss and for muscle building. And then lastly, I give you just a little bit of spiel on how to track your food on an app, and at what point in time during the day you should do that, because I think that's a very underrated skill, and you don't have to get down to like the grams or the nitty gritty of it, but for the most part, you want to record the calories that are material that makes the most difference. So you're not going to really worry about something that is like 10 calories, 20 calories, 30 calories. No, you're going to be more so recorded about stuff that's like 100 and above. So, yes. And I pretty much put everything that I know about meal prepping, as I try to keep it as simple as possible, because that's the key. Keep it simple. So I have everything in here to help you out. If you want more additional info or you want to take a deeper dive, you can email me at jazzshabazz25@gmail.com, and I will get back to you and help you out there. And we could schedule a time together to actually do that work. So I only have a few minutes left. Again, still there was nobody in this live. So since nobody was really in this live, it is going to be available for playback for you guys to come back to it and watch it, tune in, and get a lot of great information out of this video. I was hoping just to get a little bit more people, hope it was going to be a little bit more engaging, and I could offer you guys a lot more information. So this is the first one of many, and I actually look forward to doing this again. This was like I said, this was my first time live on here, so it was a pretty big deal, and I made it unlisted. So it was basically for people who registered and signed up. No one really registered, no one really signed up, but I still wanted to be able to offer this to you guys because I know it's something that a lot of people struggle with. So yes, again, thank you. Thank you if you actually watched this back on playback and you made it to the end. Jot down, chat with me in the comments. I love reading comments. I always read comments. Please follow me on my socials. I gave them at the beginning. For more information about me and my goals, you can actually go to my TikTok at IamShabadazz. I think it's just IamShabadazz. At IamShabadazz. Yeah. So thanks again for attending or watching this back on playback. I look forward to seeing you in the next live, and hopefully we would have a little bit of a better one next time. Thank you. Oh, I didn't even start. Oh.